Welcome to the Understanding the Self. And our lesson for today is about Lesson 1, the Self from various philosophical perspectives. Socrates, 496-399 BC. Socrates believed that the self exists in two parts. One part is the physical, tangible and mortal aspect of us that is constantly changing. The second part is the soul, which he believed to be immortal. Socrates believed, therefore, making both parts of our self present in the ideal realm, thus making our soul immortal. The true self is not to be identified with what we own, with our social status, with our reputation, or even with our body. Instead, Socrates maintained that our true self is our soul. Socrates is also famous for this quote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." In other words, an examining, a thinking, and an investigating self is what the self essentially is. In fact, question in the afterlife, so he preferred death to exile, because for him, exile was tantamount to not being able to identify the answer to his question on life while on exile on earth. Aristotle, 384 BC. For Aristotle, the self is composed of the body and soul, mind and matter, sense and intellect, passion and reason. Reason is supreme in a human person and should govern all of life's activities. When the sense, the lower nature of a human person, dominates a human person's life, she tends to live a chaotic life. When reason rules over the senses, mind over matter, the human person tends to live a happy life. Aristotle put emphasis on reason, however. Unlike Socrates and Plato, he does not neglect the development of a human person's physical, economic, and social power. For Aristotle, human happiness comes from the harmonious development of the whole self. Aristotle likewise taught the theory of the golden mean. The golden means moderations. Avoid the extremes. Avoid too much and too little. Living a life of moderation is doing things in consonance with reason. Plato, 428-348 before Christ. For Plato, the self is an immortal soul in a mortal, perishable body. The soul has a tripartite nature. This tripartite nature consists of A, a soul or an immortal rational part which existed before it became part of the body, B, a courageous or spirited part, and C, and the soul be mortal, and they perish when we die. What survives after we die is our soul, the rational part of our self.